Hello, YouTube people. I just had surgery yesterday at 12 o'clock, so that is almost 24 hours ago. It's about 22 hours ago. It took about 4 hours. It's very long. It was my C6, C7, and my C4, C5, and in between I had a fused disc that happened by itself. So basically that was already done, and now it happened naturally, which is pretty weird. And so the plan was to get two artificial discs. They would be the M6-C, and that is exactly what happened, although the physician, the neurosurgeon, wasn't sure he could do it. He was able to make it happen. He was able to get it. He was able to squeeze it in there, and there was obstacles, but anyway, he put it in. So the question is, what might you expect? Well, I would hope you would fare as well as I did. I fared very, very well with the surgery. When I woke up after it happened, I think I slept an hour extra, which is unusual. By the time I wake up, of course, I'm all pumped up on drugs, and my symptoms in my arm were still there. My first thought was, I don't know if this thing worked, but I feel good. I'm happy to be alive, and not a lot of pain. It was pretty great. I'm at Kaiser in Claremont Mesa, San Diego. It's a beautiful facility. Everybody was really nice. Yeah, this is the room. This is the room that I eventually go to. The reason they kept me overnight, you might be questioning why they kept me overnight when so many people just leave the same day. There was two reasons. One, I was the second surgery of the day, and two, since it was almost, it was a 2-level surgery with 3-level exposure, according to the doctor. So that was kind of more heavy duty, although I don't think my reaction was any more heavy duty than somebody with a 1-level. I mean, I think it's about as good as it can get. Oh, one of the things I noticed right after surgery is I could speak. And my throat was sore, but it wasn't that bad. Those are two things I really expected to be much worse. I guess I could take this off, but anyway, I could take this off if you wanted, but I can move my neck every way. I could do that yesterday, and by the time I got into this hospital bed, I was feeling more pain as the things were wearing off. By midnight, I was not tired. I was so pumped up from the experience. I was trying to go to sleep at midnight, so I asked for some drugs. I asked for 5 milligrams of hydrocodone mixed with Tylenol. There's a name for it, but it's very little. Basically, I just wanted the minimum. I thought it might help me sleep. It did not help me sleep. I was in enough discomfort and enough adrenaline that I just couldn't go to sleep. I had my eyes closed for hours. I almost got to sleep, never could get to sleep. I'm still not having slept. That's pretty unusual. I hope to sleep soon, but I'm not that tired because, again, a lot of adrenaline from this experience. What else? Okay, so now day 2, I just got my x-rays. I think they're going to be okay from what I can tell. My friend who was here just asked the doctor some questions. I missed him, so I hope he'll come back soon and release me. But basically, he said I should not be in any more pain in the future than I am now. Like, this might be the peak of pain, and I'm in very little pain. So this is crazy good. Long term, who knows what's going to happen? You read about these all these artificial discs. They're scary. If you have multiple levels, it's scary. Also, the thing to note is I have non-contiguous M6-C, and you might ask yourself, how is that even possible? Because it's only approved for 1 level, and apparently people do off-label. This is not an uncommon practice with physicians to do off-label where they just do it. And why this versus, say, the M6-C or some other one? It's the one he likes, and it's the one that probably Kaiser contracts with. So if I said, hey, can you do the M6-C, there'd be 2 problems with it. One, I probably couldn't get it because Kaiser doesn't have a contract with them. But even if, can't wait to watch how good this video looks with these close-ups. But not only would he probably not even be able to do it if he wanted to, you're asking the surgeon to do something they're not comfortable with. Like, you want them to do the one that they've done. They know how to use it. They know what to expect. And if you read the literature, the M6 is very comparable to the M6-C, but I don't know. I still think the M6-C would be my preference from everything I read, but what are you going to do? And bottom line is, at least in the short term, I'm on the road to recovery really fast, and so that's my story.
How was the decision made in the operating room? In looking at your anatomy and the way
Yes.
your body is in terms of, adding 2 discs versus one disc?
Well, the plan was, to get 2 discs in there, but before I went in there, the physician, Dr. Lowe, I can say his name because he's done a good job and he'd probably appreciate it. At least at now, of course, I could say that. So he said he may not be able to do the C6, C7 because it's so low. It's kind of, it's barely over. It's like the very beginning of your spine, and I don't know what other factors, but he said he might not be able to see it. And if he can't see it, he can't do it, which I don't
What
know.
would preclude him from seeing it?
Well, he said
on
that
the person,
he said that because I'm thinner, it would be easier for him to see. Probably that was his hypothesis, but he was certainly making no guarantees, and he had the cadaver bones ready to go if he needed to, and then he wasn't worried about the C4, C5, so there was a reasonable likelihood that I could wind up with a fusion and the hybrid version, which would have been a bummer. Hi, Dr. Lowe. You can turn that off.